Are you wondering how fast can you get pregnant after a miscarriage? Just you want to learn if there are some things that you need to do in order to really, speed up that cycle, getting pregnant right after you have, you're just emotionally ready, right? You're just emotionally ready to conceive again. Well, stay tuned because I'm going to be sharing my story. I'm sharing my story of how I got pregnant after a miscarriage and things that I learned during that time. So stay tuned. My name is Octavia Steen. I am a faith-based fertility coach. Y'all, I help women of God who are trying to get pregnant naturally, to overcome negative thoughts, build up her relationship with God, and really balance her hormones so she doesn't have to deal with the overwhelm in her TTC journey. So if that's you, I'm so glad you're here. If you're new here, make sure to comment down below, put an emoji down below, and let me know that you're new here so I can welcome you to the sisterhood. So let's get straight into this video. So how fast can you get pregnant after a miscarriage? Let me tell you, pretty quickly. Pretty quickly. But there are some caveats, I would say. And so when I was trying to conceive, it took about it took us about a year, almost a year, for me to see any type of line on a pregnancy test, any type of faint, very, 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 very faint line on a pregnancy test. It took about a year, like a year of negatives before I actually saw anything. And so the month prior to me seeing that BFP, I actually, big fat positive pregnancy test, I actually prayed to God and said, God, like I want a sign. Can you give me a sign? Let me know that I'm even able, like that I even have the DNA to do this. Like, what is going on? And so he gave me that sign. But immediately after, maybe like a couple of days, I had a chemical pregnancy where, before you're diagnosed with pregnancy, before you get an ultrasound, it really happens within it's like an early pregnancy, early miscarriage. I experienced that and I started bleeding and the lines started to get lighter, okay? The lines started to get even lighter than it already was. And so I was having a miscarriage, but I wasn't in tune with TTC as I am now and educated about how, the process of, conceiving and the process of, not necessarily the process of conceiving, but the process of everything in regards to a miscarriage, because this had been my first miscarriage. It's my first miscarriage. I grieved the miscarriage for a couple of days. I didn't dwell on it in that time. Because it just felt like a regular period with some cramping, with like a little bit of cramping, not a lot. It just felt like a regular period after, during my miscarriage. And so I really didn't have a painful period or a painful miscarriage during that time. And so I wasn't really grieving like I guess most women grieve. And I grieve different. I'm a nurse. And so I've seen death. I've experienced, seeing people die in front of my eyes. And so, I don't know, there's just something different about me, in regards to how I grieve. And so I grieved differently, but I was ready. Like, after I had my period, after I took those few days to grieve, and really I was grieving in multiple different ways during that time, but that's a different video and I've shared that on my channel before. But I was just ready. Like I was like, okay, God, thank you for this sign. Let's do this again. Like, let's get this going, right? I'm ready. Emotionally, I felt ready, but physically, was I ready, right? Was my body physically ready to have another baby? And so the next month, 2 weeks later, I ovulated and I was like, wow, okay, so I'm ovulating. So, okay, that's good. let's just do this. Let's just do this. And so 2 weeks later, after ovulation, I received another BFP. So a total of 4 weeks, right? One cycle for me. My cycles were about 28 to 30 days. And so my cycle came, you know, or I had a full cycle, not before my period though. I didn't have a period before my miscarriage, or before my next BFP. So I have one BFP, miscarriage, and then another BFP. So we got pregnant, and then I had another miscarriage, and it was a blighted ovum. It was a blighted ovum where there was a gestational sac, there was a yolk sac, but there was no fetus. And I didn't miscarry that pregnancy until about 10 weeks along. And so with that said, like, I was like, okay, well, should I have waited? Like, there was so many things going on in my mind, going on in my head in regards to it being, you know, my fault that I didn't, you know, have like a complete cycle. Like the doctor said, you know, make sure you have 3 to 6 cycles before you try again. And there's reasons that they say that, right? And so I just didn't, I was just stuck, right? In knowing what to do. And really, I had to, during that time, during those 10 plus weeks of me going through, I actually went through a 40 plus day miscarriage during that time, and with my 10-week pregnancy. And I had to really lean on the Lord. I had to lean on God to show me what to do, to show me you know, ways to get healthy before I try to conceive again. So yes, you can get pregnant the next cycle, right? How fast can you get pregnant after miscarriage? The next cycle. But is it beneficial for you to do so? You know, that's something that I will be discussing in my next video. So you want to be sure that you tune into that in regards to giving you tips and things of that nature to help you in your TTC after miscarriage journey. But, you know, for me, it was not beneficial. But it was beneficial in the way that I developed a relationship with God, and I developed a relationship with myself as well, just in regards to like learning more about me before, you know, I came into motherhood. So if this was helpful at all for you, if you like this video, make sure to share it with another TTC mama who is, you know, experiencing maybe TTC after miscarriage and wants to know these types of questions. Leave any questions down below as well. If you have any questions about TTC after miscarriage or TTC in general, faith, any of those questions, I would love to answer them here on this channel. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel for more faith and fertility content. And if you are looking for a step-by-step guidance, right, coaching, fertility coaching, I do have a fertility coaching program called the Fertile Faith Sisterhood. The Fertile Faith Sisterhood helps empower women to build up their prayer lives, empowers them to balance their hormones, and really you know, get to having that BFP, a solid BFP, you know, with you, your rainbow baby, whatever it may be, whatever journey you're currently on. And so if you want to join us, the link is in the description, and I will see you in another video. Blessings and baby dust.